Hey everyone, it's Matt Fury from Avid here at Connect 2019 with our good friend Will Files, re-recording Mixer to the Stars. He hates when I say that, but I love saying that. Just did a really cool session about the work you did on the film Venom. You know, starting a film like that, anytime you start a really big project, what's your process? How do you begin something so massive?
Well, that's always the hardest part of the process, right? It's like staring at the blank wall. So for me, I try to throw stuff at it as fast as possible, even if it stinks, even if it's not going to be any good. You know, I have to have something to react to. So usually, I'll just try getting sounds, going to my library, go out and recording stuff, and just throwing stuff against the picture as fast as possible so that I have something to decide, does that suck? Is that cool? What's cool about it? Do I want to expand on that idea? Okay, got to get rid of that idea. Because otherwise you just sit there and obsess about it and you don't get anything done.
So obviously a lot of young people come up to you and say, hey, I'm really interested in getting into the film industry and sound post-production. What advice do you give to them in terms of like, okay, you really want to work on a film like Venom or a film like, Star Wars The Force Awakens? What do you tell them?
Well, I think the best thing would be learn Pro Tools inside and out, or Media Composer, or whatever you're trying to work in. Because the thing is, if you show up and you know how to use Pro Tools and you know how to record stuff, you know how, microphones, you know the basics of what we do, then you can be useful immediately, right? So if someone shows up and they can be useful, then there's a good chance they're going to stick around. And then they'll have an opportunity to learn more and learn more about the craft and how we do things, more importantly, why we do things. But if you know the fundamentals of at least how the software platform work, things like that, then you can actually learn more about the why and the how.
So you mentioned just when you're starting a project, just dive in there and just see what works. Let's turn around a little bit. Is there, when you're, again, working with younger people starting off in the business, are there common mistakes you see them making in their approach to doing a mix?
Yeah, I think that it's very easy for less experienced mixers especially to focus on things that aren't story related. They're more worried about making it sound cool and less worried about how does the audience feel about this thing and how are they meant to be feeling about it. And making sure that the sound is highlighting things in the story, whether that's something as literal as a character grabbing somebody or whatever. But more often than that, it's more about making that motion feel a certain way, rather than it just sounding cool. Because really, at the end of the day, stuff that sounds cool doesn't really mean much.
So story first is always a good piece of advice. It was a really tremendous session that you did. Thank you for doing that, Will.
My pleasure.
And you're going to see more great commentary, great insight from people like Will here at Connect 2019. So just pay attention to those Avid social channels and you'll see more.